real. And I have $400 in my savings. I thought it would be funny to show y'all how much debt I've racked up since getting fired in September and being unemployed for the last 9 months. It's pretty bad. I only have 3 cards and I've maxed out majority of them. So here's one credit card. Here's my second, which is maxed out and actually over, interestingly enough. Same for this one. Yep, that's me. Meaning that's a whopping $11,632.98. By the way, I'm 23. So, there's that.
I am in thousands of dollars of credit card debt and I want to spend money so bad. The urge to spend money, like, I feel like it's just something that's in me. Like, I love spending money. I love buying things. I love new things. And that is the biggest struggle because all I want is to go and have a shopping spree and I want to buy a bunch of new clothes, but I'm not. I'm having self-restraint and I'm staying strong and I'm not going to buy anything even though I really, really want to because we have financial goals and we have credit card debt that we have to pay off and I'm not adding to it and I'm just trying to be debt free.
I'm 22 years old and I have $37,515 worth of credit debt. I also have a $7,992 student loan. I also still owe $55,829 on my car. In total, I have about $100,000 worth of debt. If you're anything like me, you haven't made any credit card payments in over 6 months. You have creditors calling you every single day, and you're feeling hopeless. But don't stress out, there's an answer to everything, and you'll get through this, I'll get through this, we'll get through this together. As of today, my credit score is a 498. So join me on this journey to pay off my debts. We'll see how high I can get my credit score. I'm also not here to give financial advice, obviously. I'd probably be the worst person for that, but if you want to watch me tackle this debt, I'll keep my TikTok updated, and yeah.
I've been going out to Starbucks to get my coffee every single day, and I realize that that's one of those things that people are like, oh, that's a very poor financial decision. So I considered trying to cut down on it, but then I realized that like right now, literally everything is a poor financial decision. Everything that we do is a poor financial decision. Putting 50% of your income towards rent is a poor financial decision. Taking out a student loan for hundreds of thousands of dollars where there's essentially no ROI whatsoever is a poor financial decision. Breaking your ankle, horrible financial decision. You want to get sick? That's a very fiscally irresponsible thing to do, kid. I'm sorry. Literally everything is a poor financial decision based on the definition that we have been told of a poor financial decision. So I'm just gonna enjoy my Starbucks, like whatever. And I think that's the way that like a lot of young people feel right now, is it's like we've kind of lost the ability to build for the future. So people are just like, whatever, I'm just like, why would I save now? I'm just gonna enjoy my life because this is all gonna come crashing down at some point. So I might as well have my little Starbucks and go to Fire Festival.
Worst financial mistake I've ever made, financing a car. Why didn't I listen to my dad when I sold my first car that he kindly bought for me and put that money down on a deposit on a finance car? He literally said, you're more or less stuck now, unless you want to pay like a balloon payment at the end, which is like $7,000. Why did I do it? Because the irony is, that particular car got written off. Then, silly me, got this huge insurance payout and put that money down on an even more expensive car. But only me can pay their monthly payments back on my salary. I don't have a salary right now because I'm on maternity leave, which means a huge chunk of money of my maternity pay is going on a car that just sits and runs me to and from Morrison's or to my mum and dad's. And it's not even a brand new car, it's a 2018 plate, but it's costing me an absolute fortune. And I'm just so pissed off with myself. Here I am, literally, I emailed them on Monday to see if they could get me a cheaper car. Because as I've gotten older, I've realised that actually, who cares if you haven't got a flash car? I'm 23 years old, I don't need a flash car. The worst part is I literally look back and the insurance payout that I got could have been like a 5% house deposit. But here we are renting. Honestly, I wish that my dad could control my bank account. It actually makes me feel sick. I could be in such a different position right now. Thank God I paid extra for gap insurance, because it literally paid off my finance for the car that got written off, and then I just got the remaining lump sum back. And I still look at it now and I'm like, why? Why did I use that money to get another car on finance, an expensive car on finance? I literally could have put money down on a house, on a 5% deposit. Don't get me wrong, it's not a massive deposit, but it's still a deposit. Now I literally spunked it up the wall. Anyone else feel me? Because it's just the worst fucking thing I ever did.
I know people say have no regrets, but I do. So let's talk about some of my biggest financial regrets in my early 20s. Number one is cashing out my 401k after I left every job. Now, your girl has 16 jobs. I know, that's a lot. But ultimately, had I rolled my 401k over, I would have been set by now. I would have had so much money stashed up for retirement. I'm just kind of mad about that. If I could go back in time, I would not do that. Speaking of jobs, number two is I wish I didn't stay at my job for more than 2 years, especially at that time. Now, I recognize that the economy is a little bit different now and it's harder to find a job. But back then, I was getting jobs left and right. So I hate that I stayed at such a low paying job for so long. That was kind of like a waste of years. Or at least not try to move into a different position that paid more. I do agree with the people who say leave your job every 2 years unless you're like advancing at your company. Anyways, number three, and this is going to shock some people, but buying cash cars. I regret doing that, especially when I was broke. Now, if you got a couple thousand on standby to where if something happens to the car, you could just up and fix it, or you have enough money to get a quality higher end car, that's different. Me, as a broke 20-something-year-old, I couldn't afford anything but a 2000 Chevy Cavalier. And I ended up buying 4 more cars after that because that car broke down. And then another one would break down because of transmission. I feel like cash cars are kind of a waste. And when I finally broke and bought my 2016 Honda Civic, that was the best decision I ever made. My payment at the time was $300. That was different times. But that car is still driving to this day. And I feel like, in a way, quality cars are an investment. Just don't go over budget. But yeah. Those are my top 3 regrets.
I really ruined myself financially in my 20s. Here's why. In my 20s, I had, oh God, do I have some poke bowl sauce on my beard? Anyways, in my 20s, I really had no concept of personal finance. I thought that my main goal was to increase my salary and I would be okay. Needless to say, I was a bit of a dumbass. There was a point, I think in my 20s, my savings, like my total savings. Luckily, I was good with contributing to my 401k because my mom kept getting on my case about it. I was like, oh, fine, fuck it, I'll put money into my 401k. But that was actually really good because that was one good financial habit that I did do. But my savings rate, what I'm trying to get to is my savings account, and I'm just kind of blabbering at this point. It never exceeded around, I would say, $12,000 because I would usually spend it, and I had no concept, I had no long-term vision of where do I want to be. So, long story short is I had savings, my career was going up, I made more money, but my spending also went up. So this is mistake number 2 is lifestyle creep. Mistake number 1 is not actually saving enough money or just keeping my savings at a set amount. So by the time I became 27, I wanted to start my own business because I was tired of corporate America. I want to be free, all this shit. I actually ended up at 44K in debt. And then from 2019, now I'm in my 30s, right? I spent around 2 years just paying off that debt. So that's mistake number 3, if I'm counting correctly. It's getting into heavy debt. And to this day, like my net worth is, I'm not going to reveal it on this channel or on this account, but I'm definitely a few $100,000 below what it could have been had I been a lot more smart in my 20s. Like, I'm not going to cry over not investing and buying Bitcoin when it was a few $100 each or $1,000 each, like in 2016 or 2015. But I will say that I made a lot of dumb financial mistakes in my 20s. Luckily, the good thing that I did do was I did max out my 401k, which has had pretty good returns at this moment. You never know. But at least I did that right. But to really recap, I got into heavy debt. I didn't save past a certain fixed amount. I also had lifestyle creep. These are three things that I would say if you're younger, or even right now, if you're in your 30s or 40s, don't fall into that trap, because you could be actually giving up hundreds of thousands of dollars down the road. So learn from my mistakes. Sometimes, honestly, I just feel this pressure in life because I'm not where I want to be financially. That's more of a mindset thing. But I would also say in my 20s, I did kind of mess up a little bit, and learn from my mistakes and, don't repeat them, and you will be in a much better financial position in your 30s versus where I am right now.
I'm just gonna be real, and I have $400 in my savings. I've been living back at home for 2.5 years. I don't know how that's happening, where the money's going. Actually, yes, I do know. It's going out to like groceries, it's going to student loan payments, and it's going to paying off my credit cards, which I use all the time. And then I'm like, oh my God, it's time to pay the bill. So then I need to pay whatever money that I get paid, the little amount that I get paid while serving. I need to put that towards my credit cards. So, and then I was taking like trips last year because I was like, YOLO, like, why not just live it up now, because I'm never going to be living at my parents again. And it's like, here I am still. But now my finances are, so can we just be real about it? Like, does everyone have a big savings? Because I am so embarrassed. It's like embarrassing, because that also gives me so much anxiety, because I'm like, wow, at this rate, I'm never going to afford anything. I'm never going to afford living my dream life. Like, who do I think I am? Then the Delulu is like, money comes and goes. The more you put out, the more comes back. And it's like, I'm still waiting for it to return to me. But anyway, I'm this close to spending that last $400 on a one-way ticket to Europe. It's Valentine's Day. I don't have a Valentine. I'll be my own Valentine and gift me the best gift. No, but how does the money, like, I'm looking back, I'm like, how do I only have that much money to my name? I never have to worry about getting robbed, I guess. I don't know, but I think that's the thing that like humbles me so much, is looking at my bank account. It's like, yes, I have all these dreams and goals, but when I look at my bank account, I'm like, okay, pause. And then I get so scared. My biggest fear isn't dying. My biggest fear is actually just like running out of time and croaking before I get to actually experience the life I want to experience, before I actually get the finances in order to experience what I want to experience. But then I know people are like, you don't always need money to do what you want to do. Like, you can do things on a budget, you can travel on a budget. And it's like, okay, true, but like, I think you need a little more than $400. I feel like we're just always given so much different info. It's like money comes and goes, it flows, money's energy. The more you put out, the more you get back. And then it's like, you really don't need that much money to do what you want to do. Travel on a budget. And it's like, okay, but how are you traveling on a budget? And like, is it really a budget? Like, are you talking $400 in your account budget, or like you need more, you know? And I'm also the type of person that has no patience. So I have no patience for my money to get up before I take the leap doing things that I want to do. I'm just constantly humbled. Like, $400 in a bank account. And the fact that I'm putting it out there, but like, someone, like, can anyone relate? Also, I'm 21 plus 7 years old. I think I should probably get a grip on my finances, but also in the same breath, I'm like, where's it gonna go when I croak anyway, you know? It's not coming to the grave with me, so why am I going to bust my ass doing something to get money that's not gonna go with me? But then I also need money now for life, so.
I don't have a lot of regrets in my life, but my choice in college was potentially the worst decision I could have ever made. And almost 2 decades later, I am still paying for. Not financially, thankfully. I mean, I was paying for that for a very long time. But socially, romantically, professionally, financially, for a very long time, up until a couple of years ago, it was a huge mistake. And if there's any one decision in my life I could have done differently, it would have been not attending the school that I went to. And I would never tell young people to not go to college. I still think college is very important, but I do think the choice in school that you make is incredibly important. Or if you get somewhere and it is not serving you, baby, transfer, leave. Do not stay in a bad situation.
I am financially irresponsible. I am. I don't have a savings account. I'm 29 years old and I no longer have a savings account. I'm making the most minimum payments on my student loans. I graduated college back in 2018, still paying off those loans. The most minimum payments. I'm living back at home. I don't have my own car. I obviously don't have a home. Instead, you know what I do? I buy tickets on impulse to go to Italy, to go to Europe. I use Afterpay, I use Affirm, I use Klarna. I get my groceries on Instacart for the whole buy now, pay later feature. And I don't care. I really don't. Like, I'm being so for real right now because the way things are looking, living here, making a life, that American dream, I'm gonna have my own house, I'm gonna have my own family here, I'm gonna have so much money, I'm gonna be rich. That's little me she'd be deceased. She would be quaking, shaking in her boots if she saw the state of this right now, because that's so impossible. Like, BFFR. Maybe you're not as financially irresponsible as me, but I think we can all agree this isn't life. This isn't life. I'd rather live paycheck to paycheck, actually like living for my soul and going on these trips and creating memories and experiences and visiting this place that feels like home, that I know I want to make home, that is out of the US. I'd much rather be living paycheck to paycheck doing that than be living paycheck to paycheck trying to just get by, paying off bills, paying off debts, the highest amount I can pay just to pay it off a couple years sooner. Because let's be for real, it doesn't matter if I'm paying off low payments or high payments, it would still take me years to pay off what that student loan debt was. So I'll pay off the most minimum payments so that I can at least have a little extra pocket change to go abroad, to go solo travel, to create these memories for myself and actually try and have somewhat of a will to live. Because this country is depression. I already struggle with my own shit, okay? Being here struggling with my own shit amplifies it. So I don't care. I'll take me being financially responsible and me actually trying to somewhat live than me being financially responsible and wanting to croak every single day of my life. Like, I literally don't care anymore. I'm 29 years old. I have no savings. I'm probably the most financially responsible person that a lot of you will probably come at me for. Come at me. I don't care anymore. I literally don't. Because soon enough, like, I don't even care about living here. Soon enough, I'm going to be over yonder in a place that actually regulates my nervous system.
Here are the two worst financial mistakes I ever made. And this is coming from a normal person. I'm not super financially successful, but I'm also not a disconnected rich person who's going to tell you, well, after I sold my 6th property, then I didn't quite get the return on the 7th property. No, it's nothing like that. For people that are closer to my situation, you know, you're starting to have some money that you're looking to save up or invest or whatever. These are two of the worst mistakes I ever made. Number 1, sports gambling. Don't do it. The only way I can tell you it's okay to sports gamble is if you have a healthy relationship with gambling, and that is that, like, you can put the occasional small amount of money on a game to, you know, just kind of have a good time with your friends or something like that. Gambling is an addiction just like any drug, just like anything else. But instead of hurting your body or your brain, it's going to kill your bank account. It is a sickness. It will get into your brain and it will destroy your financial life way faster than you realize. Like, my story with gambling was when I first started gambling on sports, I went up $7,000 within the first 4 months, right? The needle was in me. Okay. I was like, oh, I could probably never work again. I could just do this full time, blah, blah, blah. Going insane. Okay. Probably within a month or two of gaining that $7,000, I had lost all of it and then also down an additional $1,000. And then ever since that point, all I did was lose. I would win a little bit and then I would lose twice that amount until eventually I lost $12,000. So it's like alcohol. If you can maintain a very healthy, moderate relationship with it, then that's fine. But as soon as you understand that it's becoming a problem, as soon as you understand that it's becoming an addiction, you cannot do it. I'm telling you right now, it's designed to infect your brain. You will not win. This business wouldn't exist if you were going to win. People don't win. The companies win. The second thing is another form of gambling, the stock market. And I'm not telling people not to invest in the stock market. You should absolutely, if you're able to, put money into the stock market. But don't fool yourself into thinking that you're going to become a day trader. That is a mistake that I made, like a lot of people in 2020. I thought, oh, I'm going to become a day trader. I know a lot about stocks. Blah, blah, blah. No, I know nothing. There are people that dedicate their entire lives to studying financials, studying stocks, that are still wrong all the time. If you're one of those people that is your job is to study financial reports and understand companies, then that is when like actual day trading makes sense. The mistake that I made is that all of my money the entire time should have been going into long-term index funds. What I did was I took a bunch of money, I put it into certain stocks. Some of them did all right, so I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And then I put a bunch of money into other stocks and a bunch of them tanked, okay? The only stocks that have performed well consistently over time are long-term index funds. So if you're just going to dump your money in and forget about it, which is what you should do unless you are trying to day trade, which again, you shouldn't unless you're trying to make that your long-term career, which you shouldn't, okay? Dump money into ETFs, forget about it, let it rise over time. It's going to crash. It will crash. That's an inevitability. People, doomsday every year. Oh, the stock market crash is coming. Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Okay. Keep investing. Keep putting money in, whether the stock market is high, whether the stock market is low. Pick index funds, dump it in, leave it, let it grow over time. The ones I recommend are the S&P, VTI, and VOO. Those are the ones that I'm most heavily invested in. So if you're like, wherever you're at in life, if you're starting to get to the point where you have some savings, you're starting to think about investing money, don't do those things. There are two things that I screwed up that I now have the benefit of hindsight to tell you, do not do it.
I owned this car for literally one day. Okay, you guys, the past 2 days of my life have been so insanely stressful, and let me tell you why. So I bought my car. Woohoo! Yay! I didn't even get to really enjoy it because the financing and all of the contracting part, they fucked me so hard. They messed me up so hard. I didn't realize how bad the refinancing contract was. Blase, blase, blase. I didn't realize any of these things until, of course, I call my father and I tell him I'm all excited. I'm like, oh, they did this and this, and my dad's like, what? Basically, they signed me up for gap insurance. Didn't need it. Honestly, guys, I can go back and forth about how shitty the contract was, but luckily there's a 2-day canceling contract fee. So instead of buying this car that I was so excited to do, I am no longer buying this car, and I'm here at Mercedes-Benz right now and I'm dropping it off. I owned this car for literally one day. I'm just gonna trade it in, forget the contract, whatever, and in a few months I will be getting into a new car. And I say a few months because we have some life-changing things coming up that you guys don't know about yet, and you guys will know very soon, and then you will understand why it is not smart for me to get into a vehicle right now, okay? So stay tuned for that. But yeah, long story short, I feel like I really try to do what was best financially. I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy this car for the low, and then I'm gonna sell it and I'm gonna flip it, whatever. It was not that simple, and it was never that simple. And I'm just a girl. Walking away from the situation, I can say that I learned a lot and what not to do moving forward. So I am blessed and grateful for that. But I'm really not liking Mercedes-Benz right now, or the people at this exact location, because of how they went about things. They literally played me. Anyways, I'm here. Let's drop it off. Whatever. I brought Pumbaa. I brought him today for some emotional support. Come on, Pumbaa. Let's go. I have officially arrived with my special guest, Pumbaa.
I am 28 years old and I am in $40,722 in debt, and I want to talk about it. And before I break down my debt, I just want to say, growing up, my family, we didn't have those money conversations. I didn't have anyone in my life that could teach me, about all these financial things that I'm starting to learn now, but like when I was young and I started getting credit cards, like I didn't know any better. I was so naive. Why did 21-year-old me feel the need to have 7 credit cards? I don't know, but it happened and now I'm here because of it, and I just really want to talk about it, and I want to kind of help break this negative like outlook on talking about money that I've had most of my life, and I'm just tired of feeling shameful and embarrassed about my debt. And I truly believe like you take away something's power by talking about it. So I don't want my debt to have this power over me anymore. So I'm going to talk about it because it's part of life. So many people are in debt, they just don't talk about it. So I am here to talk about it, and hopefully this can help someone that is also struggling with the same thing, and we can get through it together. Or I don't know, as I learn, I can share what I learn out there. But yeah, here's the breakdown on my debt. And mind you, I don't have a car, so I don't have a car loan or anything. And I don't have a mortgage or anything. So all of my debt is loans, student loans, and credit card debt. To start with my loans, I have an Upstart loan, which is $11,891. And I have a SoFi loan, which is $18,630. And then I have my student loans, which is $8,370. And then for my credit cards, I have a Best Buy credit card that has $1,685 on it, my Chase credit card, which has $145 on it, and then my Apple credit card, which I regret ever getting this card, but I have $4,205 on it. All right, so how did we get here? How did I let this happen? I honestly, starting young with all the credit cards that I had, I just fell into the, I guess, rat race, and going to stores, it was always, you know, if I saw something I wanted, I just got it, and I was like, I'll just put out my credit card and I'll figure it out later, or I'll pay it off, like whatever it was. And then sometimes I would pay it off, sometimes I ended up spending too much that I couldn't pay it off, so then it would leave me with a balance, and then I would keep doing that and doing that. And then before I knew it, I had such a high balance on my credit card, that on multiple credit cards, that I then had to take out a loan to pay off those credit cards to consolidate that debt, because it was just too overwhelming for me. And I did it all over again. For me, the little purchases here and there, 50 bucks here, 50 bucks there, 100 bucks there, like it adds up. And if you're not tracking, and if you're not truly understanding what's coming in and what's going out, you kind of just get lost and you don't even realize. And before you know it, you're in a situation where you don't even understand how you got there, but you know how you got there. And it's not what I just want to say. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So if this can, I don't know, get in front of the young adult crew that is starting to manage their finances on their own, or someone in the same boat as me, like, you're not alone. And I want to talk about it because I want it to stop having so much power over us, and I want you to know, like, you can be in control. And the way to be in control is truly track your finances and budget and do what you have to do. Like for me, what has been helping me so much is I use the Rocket Money app, and I love it because I plug in all my accounts in there, and it is able to give me an overall view of my finances. I'm able to put budgets in the app, so for each category, I have a budget, and it tells me when I'm reaching the maximum for that category, so I can truly keep track throughout the month what I'm spending. It tracks my assets, it tracks my debt, so I'm able to see my net worth, and my net worth is negative $17,048. Crazy, huh? There's an internal savings account too that you can set up and put a goal for what you want. I have an emergency savings going, and they take little money here and there out of your account in such small amounts that you don't even realize they're taking out, but then before you know it, you have, you know, money in this account that it's nice to have. But I honestly recommend it. This is not sponsored in any way. This is just an app that I've discovered that I love and I use all the time, and it helps me truly manage my finances because I can't do the spreadsheets. I can't do I can't do the Excel sheets or whatever. Like, I can't do the tracking and writing down every single transaction that I do. It's just not realistic for me. I've tried. But this Rocket Money has honestly been the best thing for me to do. So I definitely recommend it if you're in the same boat as me and you're looking for something to kind of help you manage your finances better. And I do say, like, you have to face your finances. So every single day I have to look at my debt in the face and be like, all right, we're taking steps towards, you know, clearing this debt. Honestly, it's hard sometimes, but I am truly trusting God that he is one day going to clear my debt. I know that he has things that he needs to work in me first, because if he clears my debt when I'm not ready and I go and rack up more debt, like, what was the point, you know? So I know that his timing is perfect and everything, and that there's still things that he needs to work in me before he can do that. But I truly believe that when I am ready, he will do it. And hopefully I can be a living testimony for you guys, that you guys get to see it as it rolls out. But until then, I'm going to take action and keep, like, teaching myself and learning how to be financially literate. Hopefully this video helps someone out there feel less alone in this, because you're not alone. And also, we can overcome this debt together, and there's so much out there, so much information out there, and I just want to say, like, I want to learn, but I want to make sure that I'm learning the correct way to do things. And for me, that is knowing the biblically way to steward my resources, my financial resources. And so that is what I'm going to be doing and learning. And if you guys want, I can share what I learn as I go. But if not, thanks for watching this video, and hopefully, I don't know, you took something from it, but that's all for now.